lifting weights is a way of life. It's a central focal point of my life. You know, I don't want to sound cliche or you know, cheesy or anything like that, but really, if I did not have weight training, I'm sure I would have certain issues that I need to deal with in another way. In other words, weight training really is like a therapy for me. For me, weights is, I have to do it. It's a good way to prevent stress. There's that feeling of satisfaction of lifting a heavy weight, you know, a personal best maybe. Just a great set where you get that feeling, the endorphins rush, muscle pump. All of those things are real, you know, daily, you can get that daily feeling of accomplishment just by going to the gym. So for me, it's a real big thing in my life to have that there.
All right. Welcome back to a third episode of Project 1229. So we're in about, I guess, the 10-week mark now of prep, and I'm definitely starting to feel a little bit more like I'm dieting. Nothing crazy, just a little bit more. It's been a very good run so far, and it's crazy to actually think, you know, around about this time, last prep, this time period, I would have been about 6 weeks out from my first competition last year. So I actually did, a 16-week diet for my first show of the season in 2019, and you know, I really had to push super hard to get there, and it was almost like a contest prep crash diet. So I feel so much better this time around. You know, I'm taking a much a longer process to get there, and you know, I'm so far away from what I was feeling like last year and that struggle. And you know, by that 10-week mark last time, I was already doing, you know, an hour worth of cardio, and you know, I think 10 minutes each day was hit. So that was like 15 seconds on, 45 off for like 10 minutes, and that was brutal. And I was doing that every day along with the cardio, and also eating about 200-300 calories less than I am now. So it is good to know that, you know, I've got about 30 weeks now to go, and you know, to be in the position that I'm in now, I'm very, very happy for that. So I still feel like I have lots of energy. I'm not pushing super hard, and if I put myself on a scale of, you know, potentially how hard that I'm putting, or how much effort that I'm really putting in, it's probably only like a 5 or 6 on the dimmer switch. So you know, I've got lots of energy for, you know, when the time is to turn it up. So that's a very good thing. So I guess from the last episode, I haven't really changed my protocols at all. I'm still eating about 2,300 calories ish, with, you know, 1 refeed each week, and doing about 10,000 steps each day. So it's very, very doable prep so far. And yeah, it's actually crazy to think I've been dieting for 10 weeks now. You know, I don't feel like I have been dieting for that long. So I'm on track, kind of, in terms of the trajectory that was predicted. So I'm about the, you know, 82 mark, maybe slightly under. But the aim is for me to get to around the 80 kilo mark before my diet break, which is supposed to be in like 2 weeks time. So we'll definitely have to adjust and see how things progress. I don't know if I'll get to the 80 before we diet break, but then we also don't know, I may potentially continue to lose weight during a diet break. So I'm unsure about what the process is going to be there. I'm definitely visibly leaner. You know, I've been, whenever I do like any stories, or, you know, I've been filming a lot of content for my clients lately, and over the last week or so, I'm noticing, you know, my face is starting to come in a bit, and also, you know, in my posing, in my pictures, you know, I can see I am visibly leaner. And these next 2 kilos is what's going to be interesting. It's going to show a lot, I think, and start to make me look a little bit more like you know, a competitor, and start to, you know, take shape a little bit more. And you know, my stage weight last time was about it was about 75 kilos. So that's the lowest that I've been myself, and you know, but I think in order for me to look that little bit crispier, I need to be closer to that 70 kilo mark. But I'm gonna take it and see how things go. But it's cool to see that I'm about 7 kilos off my previous stage weight, and I'm happy with how progress is made in regards to, you know, the upper body especially. The off season, it's been very productive despite, you know, training at home, and particularly for the upper body. I think, you know, just the split that I changed to, and just putting, you know, extra work, extra volume into my upper body, and then also reducing the amount of work that's been done on my legs, particularly my quads, it has really balanced out my physique more, and I don't think my quads have actually shrunk either, which is cool. So you know, fingers crossed that muscle is going to hold in my upper body as I diet down more. I think my legs are the leanest that they've been this far out, and I'm really hoping that because of that, I don't need to pull, or I don't need to dig as hard to get them in. You know, they're typically where I hold the most body fat, and it just means that I need to sacrifice that little bit more muscle in the upper body just to get the legs in. But you know, that's the issue with stubborn body fat, right? There's no spot reduction protocols or techniques. It's just about staying en route, and if you have stubborn areas, you know, keep pushing for more leanness overall, and that's the only way that you're going to get rid of it, unfortunately. So yeah, lockdown, it's actually been really good in terms of it's helping me with this prep, because, you know, I'm not really going out at all other than doing steps. I'm spending, you know, much less time in like supermarkets and just being out getting triggered by foods. I mean, I'm not quite there in that phase of the diet yet where I get triggered, but it's definitely something that you want to maintain as you get closer to stage weight, right? I know last time that I went through it, it was like every time you go into a supermarket, you know, supermarkets put all the nice tasting foods out, you know, in front of you before any vegetables or stuff like that. So you'll end up always walking past the Krispy Kreme donuts. You'll be walking past the those Biscoff donuts, and I don't know what it is with prep, but you know, donut is something that is something that you really want during a prep. And for me, it's donuts, it's nut butter and protein bars, and I don't really eat these things during the off season. I don't really have a craving for them, but when it does come to prep, for whatever reason, I get attracted to them. So hopefully, you know, just staying away from it as I get closer towards, you know, stage weight, is going to help a lot. I think, you know, just in terms of exerting willpower, you know, when you're constantly around triggers, that's the hardest part of the diet. And you know, if you don't put yourself in that position where you need to lean on willpower, that's when you're going to have it the most, right? So I think a lot of people look at, you know, those of us who have lots of willpower, and they think, damn, I don't know how you stick to the diet for so long. I don't have that kind of strength to resist the food. But ultimately, I think it's just about learning how to stay away from it as much as possible. So not having to rely on willpower, not using it, is generally the best way to kind of save it as such. But overall, yeah, I'm in a great spot currently. I'm happy with how prep is going so far, you know, despite training at home and not having the equipment that I really want. But it's really, on the upside, it's really allowing me to work more on my business. I'm spending more time kind of building that up, leveling it up, and you know, putting, I guess, bodybuilding and prep kind of on the back burner, and you know, as a slightly lower priority. But when the time comes, I know that I can turn it up, which is promising. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I'll keep you guys all updated as I enter another week of prep, and as always, thanks for watching, and
let me know if you have any questions. Peace.